And to dig deeper about the prospects of the economy and capital market in 2022, already join us via Zoom, Andre Wijaya, Head of Research at RHB Sekuritas Indonesia. Good evening, sir. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, regarding the prospects of the economy and capital market in 2022, we know that economy and capital market went through ups and downs in 2021. From the Indonesian economic growth, we can see that in 2020 and 2021, Indonesia experienced not a really good growth, but we can see in the second quarter and the third quarter, the Indonesia economic growth at 7.07% and 3.51%. We can see in the infographic that in the first graphic, we can see that Indonesia economic growth in 2020 and 2022. In 2020, in the second quarter, -3%. In the third quarter, -3.49%. In the fourth quarter, 2.19%. And experience grew on the first quarter in 2021. And already connected via Zoom, Andre Wijaya, Head of Research at RHB Sekuritas. Good evening, sir.
Hello, good evening, Pak Fajar.
Yeah, I hope you are in a good condition and healthy. Andre, what we can see from economy in 2021? What a big picture from last year economy.
Yeah, actually, if you look at the last year economic, that Indonesia economic growth is very good in the beginning of the year, especially in the first quarter. But coming to the third quarter, the number is the third quarter 2021 GDP growth is below our expectation. Actually, this is about 3.51%. The number of the GDP growth in the third quarter. This is below our estimate and also below the Bloomberg consensus. But although the number is below our expectation, actually we still optimistic on the growth number in the fourth quarter, and we believe that by the end of this year, the GDP could grow by around 4%. This is driven by the relaxation in terms of the lockdown, in terms of the PPKM. Also, right now, the business activity already starting to the new normal, and this is should boost the economic growth in the fourth quarter. And even in the 2022, we believe the economic growth will be increased faster compared to the 2021 because economic will be driven by the normalization in terms of the business activity. Also, the increase in the commodity price will increase the economic activity as well in 2022. So we are quite optimistic on the 2022 GDP numbers.
So will the positive trend will continue in this year? Especially we know that there is vaccination program and then economic recovery program, which are claimed to be a booster for the economy.
Yeah, of course. That if you look at the vaccination rate in Indonesia right now, already quite good, about 60%. It is still lower compared to the neighboring country, but for the Indonesia, 60% vaccination rate is quite strong, and we already see that the number of the COVID-19 cases already declined quite significant. Right now, already below 1,000 cases per day, which is very, very strong. And also, if you look at the positivity rate in terms of the COVID-19 cases, right now could be maintained at around 0.5 until 1%. This is much below compared to the WHO recommendation, which is around 5%. So the COVID-19 cases in Indonesia right now is very controllable, is very manageable.
Okay, so COVID-19 pandemic handling is one of the key for the economy, and is it also the key of Indonesian capital market developments in last year? Especially we see the Jakarta Composite Index grew by 10% throughout 2021. is it outperform or underperform in your opinion amid many uncertainties in last year?
If you look at the GCI performance last year, this is outperform compared to the regional country. In USD term, actually, the GCI last year increased by 8.1%. If you compare to the peers, this is including Vietnam, Taiwan, China, and also the Southeast Asian country, the average performance only about 7.3%. So Indonesia actually is the above the average level. And if you compare to the Southeast Asian country in terms of the performance in USD term, Indonesia actually is the highest, even higher compared to the other developed country like Singapore.
So what are the main challenges for JCI or the capital market in Indonesia in 2022 that investors should anticipate?
Actually, there are some challenges actually in the 2022. One, in terms of the inflation, we believe that inflation will be accelerated for this year. This is triggered by increasing in the commodity price, especially crude oil and also the other commodity price like coal, and also like metal mining also increasing as well. It will increase the inflation, and also the other thing that the higher tax rate like VAT tax and also the carbon tax, maybe this could trigger the push cost inflation that might trigger the slowdown in the consumer spending. But I believe all of these things should be still manageable. And the other challenging is more on the COVID-19, of course, because there is still a risk that COVID-19 could be increased, especially after the holiday, after the New Year holiday, and the increasing of the COVID-19 could trigger the government to again doing the lockdown to reduce the risk of the contagion of the virus. But again, for the Omicron, there is already study by WHO that the symptoms of the Omicron should be much mild, much slight, light compared to the Delta variant. So it should be manageable as well. So all the risk, this is the risk, but I think it could be manageable and it will not impact the GCI significantly.
Okay. So how about the normalization of monetary policy, like tapering off from the Fed? Will the impact is quite big, or it will be very minimal or very slight to the Indonesian capital market?
There will be impact, of course, because of the Fed tightening policy. The impact more on the rupiah currency. We expect the rupiah currency will be slightly weakened because of the tightening policy in the US, but it should be manageable and it should not impact the GCI significantly. And the other good is that if you look at the data right now, the foreign ownership in Indonesia capital market right now is at low level. Like right now in the equity market, the foreign ownership only about 34%. If we compare to the 2016, the foreign ownership is about 42%. So given right now that the foreign ownership is very low, so if there is a capital outflow from Indonesia to the developed market, I believe the impact should be quite minimal to the capital market. So there is a risk, but should be manageable, I think.
So it must be anticipated by the regulators, including Bank of Indonesia and of course the government. So we hope that the impact will be minimum. But maybe it's the last question, Andre. Are there any certain sectors in the JCI that will shine in 2022?
Yeah, of course. In our population, actually, GCI earning will grow by 18.6% for this year, and it will be driven by 4 sectors. This is a bank, retail, cement, and also infrastructure related. So we believe that the cyclical sector like bank, cement, retail, and infra related will grow faster compared to the peers, especially for the earning growth for this year.
Okay, I think it can be noted by the investors or maybe our viewers for looking what stocks can be seen for their investment plan. But anyway, thank you very much, Andre, for joining us this evening.
Okay, thank you.
Stay safe and stay healthy.